This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to all our viewers. My name is Francis and welcome to Buhay Bahayan with Francis and Mia. Hello. Good afternoon. It's a special day today. I don't know what it is, but my co-host will break the ice for that. And my co-host, Miss Mia Casino.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Mia Martin Casino and I know the reason why. Nax, bakit?
I don't know.
Happy birthday to Mr. Francis Navarro today.
Thank you for this special day, and we're hosting this Buhay Bahayan podcast. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you. All right, we'll proceed with our show.
Ilan taon ka na muna?
27.
Yeah, right. Oh, sige, introduce our guest.
25 pala, wrong. 25, 20 years ago. There you go. Just do the math.
45.
All right, we have a very interesting topic this afternoon to all our viewers, and we have a special guest here today. So I will introduce to you our very special guest. So our topic for this afternoon is I Will Trust You. Ano man yung I Will Trust You. So we're gonna talk about finance, of course, topics, wills and trusts. Okay, all right. So our guest this afternoon is a good friend of mine. He's been in the financial industry for over 25 years. Have been through all the big banks, worked with the major banks. That's how I knew him. Commercial, lending, and investment. Today, he's an independent financial professional with Transamerica Financial Advisors. And of course, he will share his personal insight here with us at Buhay Bahayan. Thank you to Mr. Ray Pagaduan.
Yay! Welcome, Ray.
This is how you introduce yourself, so I'm going to capture that.
Thank you, Ray. How are you doing today?
Doing good. Happy birthday.
Salamat.
Yes.
Thank you.
I like your the title. I will trust you.
Who came up with it?
I think it was
You.
Oh, was it me?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thanks to you guys. I just put in together the I guess the title. So
Yeah.
with your help.
That's a very interesting topic, no? I said wills and trusts. So a lot of homeowners that I've serviced before, or who are my clients, still currently, don't even have
Right.
trusts or wills. Owning a home, it's very important. So Ray can expound to us like how to get started and what are the do's and don'ts, and just basic information like why do you need it.
Yes. And once again, just a little disclaimer, I am not an attorney. I don't give tax advice, but I'm sharing you insight of my experience for the past 25 years about the importance of estate planning.
Right.
So if we look at the data today, in fact, just a few days ago, I was in a Zoom call, and they were discussing about how 62% of American adults don't even have a will. So much less no will, how much more having, of course, there's no trust as well. So what exactly is an estate plan? We have Francis here, who's also been in the financial industry for over 20 years or 2 decades, and I know he just turned 25. So
Right.
yeah,
I started when I was 5 years old.
So
in the industry.
that's awesome. So, but yeah, when we talk about real estate as well, you're in real estate, estate, but seldom we talk to people about our clients about the importance of estate planning. What exactly is that? And maybe probate is always the big culprit, which is why people will say, hey, you know what? You need to have an estate plan created.
Right.
The four components of that is having your revocable living trust, your durable power of attorney, your healthcare directives, and your last will and testament. But sadly, most people, once they approach either an attorney or it's always the price tag.
Right.
So they always end up saying, hey, you know what? I'm just going to have a will. But the will, sadly, doesn't prevent probate. Probate is basically each state, all 50 states, has probate courts who will seize the asset.
Correct.
And the sad part is, if you're married with 2 kids, and let's say the house is under the husband or the wife's name, by the time probate court captures the house, they'll have to evict the homeowner
Yeah.
because the lender has to be paid.
Correct. Yeah.
So, but why is it that we're not putting importance? It's the lack of education. We, I think earlier I heard about some conversation about, AI. So, but we have social media. So we have a lot of outlets now to share about what can we do to help our kapwa Filipino. I mean, maybe we can start there. Buhay Bahayan. We think it's safe to say we all have houses here, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So then the next question is, may trust na ba kayo?
I have a quick question for
Yeah.
you. Don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah.
Just for our viewers. So when you buy a home, just when you closed in, you've already settled, moved in, would you advise for them to get a trust right away? When you mention about probate, because a lot of us don't know what will happen. Like what will happen when, say for instance, worst case scenario, you just bought a home and now you did not put your
deed.
home under
deed, yeah.
under a trust. What will happen? Just in any case, worst case scenario, what probate means? What will happen to them if their house or their home is not under the trust?
Okay. So what will happen is, when somebody passes away, and the house was under one of the, let's say, we'll use a couple.
Yeah.
It's not a joint tenancy.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
So even
Right
if,
of
even I'm
survivorship.
glad you brought that. Some people, so you just put a J throw
Yeah.
on the title, so it doesn't go to probate. It
Yeah.
still does.
Yeah.
But joint with rights of survivorship is what J throw is.
Right.
But most of us, when we buy a house, it's always under the one person, or it could be, if it's 2 people, it's still okay, but it's not bulletproof.
Yeah.
If something happens to both,
Yeah.
the house will still go to probate.
So probate means it goes to the government. It will be owned by the government, or it will be impounded by the government. Yung bahay.
It's like impounded, and then because there's a loan against it,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the lender
Okay,
has
okay.
to be paid.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why
true.
you have to sell the house,
Yeah.
so the creditor gets paid.
Oo, kasi may lien sa bahay.
Yeah.
And then kailangan we have
Bayaran.
to
Yeah.
kailangan bayaran. It has to be, everything has to be cleared, and
Yeah.
it will be settled by the government. So
Yeah.
through the government.
The
So
courts.
mababawi talaga
By
yung
probate
house.
court. Yeah.
So mababawi siya yung house. So let's say
Yeah.
if you have family in there, and let's say the husband bought this house when he was like single, and then got married with kids, and then all of a sudden husband
He
passes.
died. Yeah.
What will happen? Automatic sa government yun, or they would have to go through court, right? Like court
Yeah,
Probate
they
nga.
still have. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
the court proceeding. It's a headache.
Yeah.
And I've seen countless stories of family being affected by it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it should be the community
Yeah.
should from the lending perspective, from the lender, the real estate agent, to at least, we're not going to give them advice, of course, but we'll just, hey, you know what, some helpful insight.
Yeah.
You may want to look into this,
Yeah.
having an estate plan. Estate plan you don't have to be a millionaire
Yeah.
to have an estate plan. A lot of with social media, AI, there's a lot of outlets today that you can. There's a DIY in creating it.
Yeah.
And so what we do is, hey, if you know how to do, help help our kababayan.
Yeah.
And let them know it's awareness.
Yeah, rather than
Rather than-
that will happen to them, and then
Yeah.
it's too late. So, best advice would be, secure your home right away once you acquire, because your home is the largest asset that you can ever own.
Right.
Aside from, let's say, if you had passed down to you, anong tawag doon?
Inheritance.
So, but like when you acquire a home, that's most likely in most households, di ba? That would be your largest investment kasi malaking value yun, malaking
Is it expensive to get, trust and wills done?
It can be expensive, depende. Think of it as like there's not all trusts are created equal. So sometimes it's just simplified. Hey, I just want to have my wife and I, and creating. So we're the owner, the grantor of the trust, and then we will create a successor trustee in the event that anything happens to me and my wife, we're incapacitated. We have that person, usually our family member,
Right.
at least maybe the favorite son or daughter, whom you trust, who will execute your wishes. It's not them taking over your asset.
Correct, yeah.
It's the successor trustee is just there to take over and continue what our instructions are, such
Yeah.
as, hey, you know what, if we're incapacitated, anak, pay for our bills, pay for everything that all of our obligations. And then also there's the power of attorneys. Those are the ones that you can also use. For instance, a scenario, not too long ago, the whole world was shut down.
Yeah.
Some people were stranded in the Philippines.
Right.
And can you imagine? It's
can't
like,
do
I
anything.
can't do
Yeah.
anything, so what will I do? What will I do? So
Yeah.
the power of attorney,
yeah.
can be used to, go to the bank and say, hey, I was assigned by my parents as power of attorney, but the parent still has to call the bank
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
in order
You
for
had a
that.
statistic that you talked to me earlier,
Yeah.
about wills and trust. Like,
Yeah.
the whole, is it the whole general population?
Yeah,
What was the number?
62% of the U.S. adults don't even have a will.
Right.
Oh wow. So how different is a will
And
from trust? Is it more powerful than the other, or?
Oh yes, because remember, it's the will is just a ticket for you to claim the asset.
Ah, okay. It's not ownership.
It's not ownership. It's basically
whatever it is, yeah.
on the will. It just says I am the heir,
Bequeathing, yeah.
assigned by either the owner or
Yeah.
it could be a parent.
Yeah.
But then that's what you use to go to the courts.
Yeah.
And so then you still have to apply for. There's a checklist. If you go to the probate court, if you have the will, here's a checklist. Now you may have to get an attorney involved. Or if you can't afford an attorney, then you may have to do it yourself, but it'll take some time. So
and it's expensive
and it's-
to have a trust set up. Like I heard, it's like more or less like around $3,000 sometimes,
it could
depending
be,
on
depending on the situation, the type of need, the type of structure on your trust. That's why when I mentioned that not all trusts are created equal,
Yeah.
some trusts, like when the owner, the grantor, settler, trustor, owner of the trust passes away, sometimes it gets broken into 5 different trusts.
Right. And what types of trusts do you know, or do we have around?
Man, there's
I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Which one's best for real
there's
estate?
revocable and irrevocable, right? Trust
There's
that I know.
family trusts.
So it's usually, from in my experience, it's always the revocable living trust.
That's very common.
That's very common, the revocable living trust. But then what happens is when the grantor, the owner, passes away, the trust, the revocable, becomes irrevocable.
Yeah.
So which means you can't make changes to it. Doesn't mean there's no theft. There can still be theft, but that's why it's important for you, like if you have kids, sometimes we say, hey, you know what? Do you want the inheritance that your kids will get be split with your future, I don't know, son-in-law, daughter-in-law?
Yeah. So I have this question because viewers from the Philippines, because some may own property here. So and then some of us Filipinos who have property in the Philippines, want to establish a trust here. Now, can or will it apply there
to their relatives there?
That's my biggest question, is because you might have a trust here, and then to own property over there. I don't know if it's same jurisdiction, because if you establish the trust here, then it may not apply to the Philippines. It might be more of a
I'm glad
complex
you brought
question.
I'm glad you brought that up, because even when I was at the bank, I see a lot of Filipinos who, of course, still own properties. I mean, we still have properties in the Philippines, but in order for you to own property, let's just say you're a U.S. citizen, but to own a property in the Philippines, you have to be dual citizen.
Yeah.
Now, the trust, there's no technicality, there's no jurisdiction over the properties in the Philippines. Although the Philippines is now starting to adapt into doing trusts.
I see.
But the will, however, can be used in the Philippines.
The will from here
I didn't know
can be used
that.
in the Philippines.
In order for you to do that, it used to be you go to the Philippine consulate, they'll put a ribbon, stamp, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But then now you have, depending on which state you live in, you have to get an apostille service. They stamp it. Now you can use it officially in the Philippines. We have a scenario just recently. One of the siblings passed away. Then in the Philippines, they were like saying, "Hey, we want to see something to show that that she assigned an heir to her ownership." And so, luckily, she had a will that had a sole heir on her.
Yeah.
So all he had to do was just send it over to the Nevada Secretary of State. They stamp it. Then
so they will honor it there.
They will honor it.
In the Philippines, it's very hard sometimes, because I've spoken to many of my friends who don't have a will, and then of course they did not establish a will, and of course in the Philippines it's like, if you don't have a will, then it would still go whoever is next of kin, right? Here it doesn't even matter. Like here, regardless who is the next of kin, but you're not in the will, they will always honor whatever is on the will or on the trust, right? I don't know if
I think
it works the same.
Yeah, on the will, even if, let's say, you assigned somebody, let's say, for example, husband, wife, kids, and then on the will it says the beneficiary is the uncle.
Yeah. So they would have to honor that here in the U.S.
Not necessarily. That's why a will would then go to probate court.
I see.
So let's say the uncle.
It's the same. It still goes to probate.
Yeah, the uncle gets because we had another scenario too. So it was like blended family. So, but on the will it says, okay, the beneficiary is the uncle.
Yeah.
But then the kids, if you look at the Nevada law on the next of kin law, they have certain, like, parents, kids.
Yeah, that's right.
So then the kids have the right to, hey, you know what? I have ownership rights over that.
Yeah,
that's why it goes to probate court. It gets ugly.
So it's still widely accepted like that, wherever you may be.
Yeah. And everything really, if you come to think of it, everything it involves your estate plan. Everything it connects everything, such as when you buy a house and you didn't put it on a trust. So supposedly, if you can put what do you call this? You created a trust, but you didn't convert it, or you didn't quit claim it to the what do you call this? The assessors.
Yeah.
So you have because there's a lot here. They already have the document.
Yeah.
But when you ask them, hey, did you properly fund your your trust.
Oh, hindi siya
I go, what does that mean? Is your bank account under the name of the trust?
Yeah.
No. Is your property under the name of the trust?
Oh.
No, well, I thought that it was.
That's it.
So, and this is where there's some trust I've seen that revocable living trust with a pour over will.
Yeah.
So if that was a combination, then whoever the beneficiaries are and the successor trustee can still go to the courts and get a quit claim and avoid probate. So it's still possible, but then why wait till that happens before you go, and it should be part of when you're buying a house. It should be part of, hey, you know what? I remember when you buy a house, as soon as you buy the house, the lender will provide an insurance for your loan.
Yeah, that's right.
So that should be part of.
I think it's really about educating the consumers and also yung cost nga. Those are the two factors that's affecting.
I have a final question for Ray before we wrap everything up. So what assets can you put on or in a trust? Kasi may mga things na you can put like homes. What else can you put under a trust?
Yeah. So you have your home, of course, your bank accounts.
Like checking accounts.
Checking, savings, CDs.
Yeah.
Even life insurance, because life insurance, those are it falls under the non-qualified, meaning you don't pay taxes on those.
Yeah.
So, and then there's the ones that you shouldn't do is the qualified money, which is 401ks, IRAs, and reason being is the taxation alone. And this is where we always say, hey, you know what? Before you even do that, talk to a tax advisor and just say, how will this impact taxation on money? Remember, you didn't pay taxes on it. You're passing it on to your heirs to pay taxes on those.
Wow.
But the trust, if you pull up the IRS record, the taxation on trusts is higher than the normal. But it all really boils down to education. That's why if you see this financial. So last month was actually Financial Literacy Month. And so,
that's right. Yeah.
So one of the, when you're buying a house, people here in town, there's a lot of nonprofit organizations that would offer home buyer class.
Yeah.
And so for us, it's also the same thing. Financial literacy, it should be for everybody. So we offer free workshops.
Yeah.
So, WSB, World System Builder, they came up with free workshops.
Yeah.
Really, that's one thing that I guess I value a lot, because then it helps my clients to understand what we really do.
Yeah. And they don't even teach that in schools.
And they should be in high school.
Only very few, I think less than 5 accredited high schools or they teach finance in the whole U.S. And that's...
Yeah, they teach more in sex education.
Right.
Yeah, it's staggering. It's unbelievable when they should be teaching, finance, and how to save, and because otherwise, how are our kids going to retire, in the future?
Yeah, and I guess I know our time is almost up, but really, if you look at the financial foundation, what is the first thing when you first work?
Yeah.
What did you first do? You get hired. They have you fill out a
W-2.
Yeah, the benefit package, but nobody guides us through.
Yeah.
What should I put? 401k.
Yeah.
What should I put in? Our advisors are our coworkers.
Yeah.
Right.
My medical insurance. What should I pick? What are you picking?
Yeah.
The highest deductible, lowest deductible.
Yeah.
Then, by the time you're I'm finally working now. You develop your credit.
Yeah.
Now you start making. I'm gonna buy major purchases, cars, house.
That's true.
Now, what do the homeowners or the lender ask before you close? You can't even close on a house without a home insurance.
Yeah.
You can't drive a car out of the dealership without car insurance, and yet we don't put. I mean, shoot. we buy this. You need insurance protection on
Your
any
cell phone.
any appliance. It's part of it, and yet we don't put emphasis on the most important.
Yeah, that's
us.
so true. So
So-
true. Yeah, savings is. I mean,
Yeah.
we could just go on all day and talk about savings
right?
and insurance, and it's very important. That's a lot of information
A lot,
from Ray.
yes,
We
yes.
might have a part 2 with you, Ray, because
Yes.
I wanna. We were not able to tackle all the
was just
topics.
the
Yeah, that was just like the
trust part.
Yeah, the trust part, and we have. The tax portion of it, how to save, and there are limited resources of how to save for retirement, and then even for down payment for college funds
yeah.
for your kids and all that, and Ray will have that information. I am proposing a part 2 for this because I think it's very important though. So I hope Ray will have time to come back, and we'll talk
Yes.
about some more topics about that, and
Sounds
for
good,
our
sounds
for our
good.
viewers.
Yes, yes,
so
yes.
You can share that with our viewers. Now, I have one more request from you, Ray. What is
Yes.
you have a baon, joke baon, right?
Oh
I
yeah,
always require our guests to have a joke. Otherwise, I will not guess them anymore.
yes.
So you have a joke for us, Ray? Go ahead.
You know what? It's a true story. So it's
Sure.
and it just happened yesterday. So that's why I was like, you know what? You asked me what kind of, share a joke. So I go, okay. Hey, Francis, Mayor. So use carpool in a sentence.
You
I-
first.
I drove in the carpool lane.
Of course.
You
So-
said use it in a sentence.
Use so that's it's a given. So to me, I have to use my heritage. So I go.
What is your heritage?
So I'm actually a mutt. So I'm a mix of. So
Ascal.
I know my dad. He's Ilocano Kapampangan, and then my mom's Cebuana Chinese. But I guess all the Filipinos, we all have Spanish blood too. So that's why I always say I'm a mutt. So anyway, so carpool in sentence. So I go, yesterday I was heading over to a meeting, and I was, I always try to drive carpool, and yet even though I'm driving, very carpool, somebody. I know. What's the laugh? Somebody's still reading.
Punchline. Ayun, there you go.
So that's how you use carpool in a sentence. So now that's why every time I go to the freeway, I always take
Carpool.
the carpool.
Be very
lane.
carpool.
You have to be
Carpool.
you have to be the may baka ka. Sige. Make it quick kasi meron din akong baon.
Ako muna.
Sige,
sige.
go ahead, Mia.
Sige, birthday mo, ikaw muna. Ikaw muna, dali.
Ako muna.
Ah.
Okay, since we're running out of time, I have a...
Bilis!
What did the clock ask the watch? What did the clock ask the watch?
Watch the time.
Pretty close.
Ah.
How are you doing?
Ako naman. Ay, ikaw, tama yun.
Tama yung punchline ko, ha? Okay, good.
Why did the old man fall into the well?
Why did the old man fall into the well? Because he was
Tatanga-tanga eh.
not carpool. He was not.
He was
That
a
was being
carpool.
carpool.
Yeah, it's not
And a
carpool.
sirit,
Sirit.
because he can't see well.
Wow. I think we don't have time for any more jokes.
Yes.
Just be careful.
Just be careful.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna wrap things up. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you,
Happy
Ray.
birthday.
Thank you. Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you. And it was good having you guys. All right. And see you again next time to Buhay Buhayan every Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Salamat.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Oh, go to Summerlin Downtown Parade, 6 p.m. May Day Lady Parade
Ayun.
at Downtown Summerlin.
There you go. Bye-bye. See you. Thank you. It's